Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 10th day of December 2020. It is day 1421 of the Trump administration, leaving just 41 days until President Biden's inauguration. Happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends. It is National Dewey Decimal System Day. I know people under 30 just said, what? Well, look it up, millennials. Well, isn't that odd telling somebody to Google the Dewey Decimal System? You'll get that in a minute, millennials. That's really hilarious. I'm near my home in Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. Okay, so let's spend a moment talking about this ridiculous lawsuit brought by Texas. For those of you who don't know, the election has been certified by all 50 states, which means they have to vote that way in the Electoral College on Monday, which means Joe Biden will be officially, for the 99th time officially, become the president-elect of the United States. So Texas, their attorney general, who himself is under indictment for bribery, by the way, in his infinite wisdom, decides that as a state, they want to sue Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Georgia. They want to sue them in the Supreme Court for anomalies, they call them, in their election system. Basically, we don't like the way you ran your election, so we're suing you. Well, the reality is, this is a ridiculous, clownish lawsuit. One state can't sue another because of the way they run the elections. You don't have standing, you don't have jurisdiction in which to sue. If the Supreme Court were to allow this lawsuit, where would it end? Every state would sue every other state. In other words, next Michigan would sue Texas because they don't like the way they ran their elections. They don't like the way that you made one ballot drop box for every location. We don't like the way you tried to disenfranchise voters. There's a reason we don't have central elections. We have 50 different elections, and each state can run their election however they want. Now, just to put this in some kind of context, let's just pick a state. Let's say Michigan. Well, Michigan has the right to run their election however they want, as long as it's constitutional and the people of Michigan vote for how they want to run the election. If they want to pull a name out of a hat, that's their business. It's got nothing to do with you. You run your state the way you run it, and we'll run our state the way we want to run it. So they don't even have standing to bring this suit. It's going nowhere. But 17 other states' AGs who should be investigated for signing on to this ridiculous lawsuit to keep a man in power who clearly doesn't even want the job. Like all the things that are going on, coronavirus relief, people are dying. We lost over 3,000 people yesterday. And you're still running around talking about an election that you lost, that wasn't close. You lost by 7 million. Tell me anything in the world where you could lose by 7 million and you think it's close. Any sporting event, any election, can you imagine if the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Cleveland Browns by 7 million and they said, whoa, what a nail biter. There's no universe in which this election was close. You got beat badly. Deal with it. So now, what he's trying to do is screw up intentionally everything he can, like he did the post office. Have his people, he put these flunkies in positions of power so they could refuse to work with the Biden transition team. That's what this is all about. The regular people that were in office would have abided by the Constitution, and they would have, worked with the transition team and did everything that that every other president throughout all of recorded history has done. So he put these flunkies like Corey Lewandowski and all these things in place so that they can refuse to work with the Biden team and try to blind them as much as possible. So before I go, I'll just say this one thing to Trump and Trumpers. Understand this. You're not hurting Biden. I'm going to say that one more time because I know a lot of you people are dense. You're not hurting Biden. You're hurting us. You're hurting the American people. Biden is a 78-year-old man. He has a loving wife, no financial problems. He has a house. He has children and grandchildren and people who love and care about him. He has a job. He's well respected. At the end of his first term, he'll be 82. You really think he gives a damn what you think about him? You're not hurting him. You're hurting us. You're hurting the American people. You're making us sicker and less safe. He's got nothing to do with it. He's protected by a bubble. He's gotten all his shots. You're not hurting him. I don't know why these people don't get this through their head. If he was 55 or 48 or something, maybe he had a long legacy ahead of him. This man at the end of his first term is going to be 82 years old. You really think you're hurting him? You're not hurting him, you're hurting us. And that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night.